been a little while since I did an update. Figured it was time to share what's going on with the tank. I've been battling some algae, hair algae, brown algae on the sand. I think I may have narrowed down what the problem is. I have stopped micro scrubbing and started skimming. So there's been a couple changes. I've been trying to really get rid of this algae. It's been a little frustrating lately. You can see a little bit of the algae here on the sand. It's a brown algae. I stir it up just about every day, and within hours it seems to return. If you guys remember from a few episodes back, I discovered I had a predatory snail that eventually killed a clam I put in the tank. It had also killed all of my cleanup crew, and I let it go a little too long before replacing them. I think some of this algae may have set in before I had a chance to really take control of it. I've since purchased many more snails, and it seems to be helping considerably, since just a week ago this entire sand bed was covered in this algae, and now it seems to be just a smaller portion. There's also been some problems with hair algae, but I've been removing it as it comes. It's mainly been growing in the overflow section, but it's starting to show up a little bit on some of the rocks. All the corals seem to be thriving, and all my levels read 0, so I'm sure it's all the algae just soaking up the usable phosphates and nitrates. You can also see my rose bubble tip anemone has moved and is now right underneath that hammer in the back. I used to have 2 of these sponges in my sump. They really helped keep a lot of the bubbles down in the main display, and I thought they were also helping with nitrifying bacteria, but I since have taken them out because I think they might have been a source for excessive nitrates and phosphates. It's pretty dirty. Started using the DIY skimmer that I made for my 30-gallon, and also using the aqualifter pump and air stone I was using to micro scrub. It's been pulling out some gunk. I currently have it off right now just because it's so noisy, but it seems to be helping. I've only been skimming for maybe a week or so, and during that time I have noticed a decrease in the algae on the sand. I cannot say that this is the only reason now, because I've never run a skimmer on this tank since it's been set up. Now I've also taken out those sponges, and I put in quite a bit more activated carbon, probably about double what I was using. I really think this is probably the main issue of my algae, is me not changing the micron filter, because that color is the exact same color as the algae in the tank. I don't know this to be true because when I test the water change water, it is still coming out 0 phosphates. So that algae that could, I guess, is growing on that filter could be absorbing all the phosphates and continue to grow. So I'm going to be changing that out today. Okay, I've got the filter changed. Time to hook everything back up. Okay, so everything's back together, running with no leaks. I also have moved my water storage from the back patio to now in my garage. I'm hoping that the lack of light will also cut down on the amount of algae produced in that chamber without me actually having to cover it with something to prevent all the light going in. We'll see how this new setup works. Hopefully these few changes will help to reduce the amount of algae growing on the sand bed. I'm not going to stop micro scrubbing, but I am going to continue protein skimming just until I can get a handle on this algae. It's kind of driving me crazy. I don't like seeing it pop up, and I really would like to keep it under control before it becomes a big issue. The tank is still relatively young, and I have not done any skimming before this, so it's potentially maybe still going through a little bit of a cycle as I continue to stir the sand. Not really sure, but I feel confident with these changes that it will get better. So I appreciate you guys for watching. Make sure to stay tuned. We'll see if all this algae clears up. Thank you guys again. I'll see y'all later.